Hello and welcome back to Xbox On. We're heading into the final month of the year and all the festive joy it brings. But first, let's look back at all the new games and updates that arrived in November, including a rather exciting console launch.
Yeah, and the biggest news this month probably isn't going to take you by surprise. That's right, it's the Xbox Series X and S. You know what they say, you wait ages for a next-gen console, and then two arrive on the 10th of November. That is a saying, right? You probably know this pair by now, but let's do the quick version. The Series X is the most powerful Xbox ever, packing an unprecedented 12 teraflops of GPU welly for 4K gaming all the way up to 120 FPS. And Series S is the smallest ever, a sleek little powerhouse at an amazing price. And now we've all got the chance to get our hands on that next-gen gaming experience. It's pretty fantastic. Buttery smooth frame rates, incredible ray trace lighting effects, jumping in and out of games in a flash with quick resume. Honestly, it's hard to say which is our favorite new feature.
So it's not exactly surprising that this was the biggest launch day in Xbox history, with more new consoles sold in the first 24 hours than any previous generation, and a record 3,594 different games fired up on these new machines. We celebrated the launch here in the UK with a big old monolith that blasted holographic images into the London night sky, and the Xbox On team was there for the official countdown with a 6-hour stream on the 9th, aka Xboxmas Eve, with a sneak peek of next-gen gaming and interactive challenges taking us through till midnight when the very first consoles went on sale.
But what's a new console without some brand new games to play on it? Well, thankfully, there was definitely no shortage of those in November. Ahead of launch, we had the off-road racing joys of Dirt 5, crashing onto Xbox on the 6th with a huge collection of vehicles for you to customize, drive, and get good and dirty. Whether you're in the mood for a spot of classic rally in Brazil or want to test a rock bouncer's roll cage in the Moroccan desert, it's all here and looking super fine with the Xbox Series X and S optimized next-gen version. And then actually releasing on console launch day, forgetting the 20-something games that stepped into the next gen with optimized versions, and the thousands of back-compat games, the launch lineup was pretty damn good.
Okay, we've got lots to get through, so speed round time. Want to live your best Viking life or just see what Norwich looked like in the 9th century? Either way, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is the one for you. Another historical open world smash from Ubisoft. Like your gritty crime dramas with a touch of soap opera and a whole lot of silliness, then check out Yakuza Like a Dragon, which is a fresh start and a perfect jumping on point for this legendary series. Fancy indulging your inner COG commander? Gears Tactics manages to keep the series' trademark roadie running chainsaw revving action while turning it into a turn-based strategy game that will definitely get those gears turning. And if that's not quite enough brains plus brawn action strategy for you, there's also Fights in Tight Spaces, which bursts onto Xbox Game Preview on the 10th. This is basically John Wick as a card game, with you building up your own personalised deck of punches, kicks and sweet finishes. Kapow!
Or maybe you'd like to make beautiful music while dropping blocks and clearing lines, in which case Tetris Effect Connected is the game for you. Honestly, even if you don't think that's what you're after, it might well still be the game for you. It's really flipping good. For all those roller coaster enthusiasts missing the real thing at the moment, there's Planet Coaster Console Edition, which lets you build your own rides and unleash them on the guests. Or how about Observer System Redux? If for any reason you find yourself craving a bit of Polish cyberpunk at the moment, this reworked version of Bloober Team's cult sci-fi thriller will absolutely hit the spot, featuring the voice of Blade Runner legend Rutger Hauer. And finally, if your favorite genre is giant bird aerial combat games set in a post-apocalyptic fantasy world, well, could you be a bit more specific please? But this is your lucky day. The Falconeer is packed with tense dogfights, a gorgeous drowned world, and a really big bird. There truly is something for everyone, and that's just one day's worth of new releases.
The month wasn't finished there either. We also got Fuser, a DJ simulator from the makers of Rock Band and Dance Central that lets you make your own amazing or ridiculous mixes. And on the 13th, the latest installment in a little-known series arrived called, what was it again? Call of Duty? Yep, Black Ops Cold War is the latest bombastic, blockbusting first-person shooter from the Activision stable, taking us back to 1984 for a campaign that explores the moral grey areas of military deniable ops and the rather more black and white soldiers vs shamblers shoot-'em-up of zombies. And then of course there's the enormous multiplayer with all the modes, customization and tightly tuned deathmatch action you'd expect from COD. As of the 24th, there's also a new 80s spin on a map you might just recognise.
November was a brilliant month for Xbox Game Pass subscribers. We've mentioned a few day one Game Pass launches already, and we'll be talking about new content for some of the biggest titles in the library in just a moment. But there are 2 other additions to the service you'll definitely want to know about if you didn't already. On the 10th of November, alongside all that console launch excitement, was also the first day that Game Pass Ultimate members got access to EA Play, essentially adding another games library from one of the world's biggest publishers. We're talking Jedi Fallen Order, The Sims 4, Battlefield 5, and yes, Titanfall 2, in case you somehow still haven't played it. The full game, all yours through Game Pass. And you also get 10-hour trials of the latest releases like FIFA 21 and Star Wars Squadrons. And that's not to mention early access to some EA titles before general release, and that a selection of the games are available to play via Xbox Cloud Gaming. Now, that's a lot of good stuff in one handy package. And that's not the end of the benefits for Ultimate subscribers this month. You also got a month's trial of Disney+. So between gaming sessions, you can catch up on The Mandalorian, stick on a Marvel movie, or 31 seasons worth of The Simpsons. Fun fact, if you took all 684 episodes of Springfield-based antics and watched one after another, it would take about 10 days. So you could squeeze them all into a month, technically, but you probably shouldn't try it. Sleep is important.
Okay, back to the games now, with some of the massive updates that November brought for some of our favourite titles, although honestly some of these updates stretch the definition. Take Gears 5 for example. The whole game basically relaunched for the Xbox Series X and S. You've got an incredible set of next-gen optimizations that bump the graphical settings to Ultra and let you play Versus mode at 120 FPS. But that's not the end of the changes, not by a long way. You can now bring all of your character and weapon skins into the campaign and even sub in wrestling legend, noted Gears fan and actual guardian of the galaxy Dave Bautista for Marcus Phoenix. There are mutators that let you mess around with how the campaign looks and plays, 2 brutal new difficulty modes that will really test your skill with a Lancer, and 95 gamer scores worth of new achievements to reward trying out these new options.
Over in multiplayer meanwhile, Operation 5 arrived with some classic characters, maps and weapons from Gears past, and yet more achievements. And with the New Day DLC pack, you can bring a splash of flamboyant style to your squad with another of WWE's finest. And if you're a Game Pass Ultimate subscriber, you can nab them for free. See what we mean about this basically being a whole new launch? It's a similar story with the Master Chief Collection over on PC, which is now officially complete with the addition of Halo 4, an entire campaign and multiplayer suite. How's that for an update? And console players weren't left out either, thanks to a massive optimized for Xbox Series X and S for all 6 games in the collection, bringing all those ghosts, needlers and poor doomed marines into 120 FPS.
And the latest update for Destiny 2 wasn't much smaller, as Beyond Light brought us the moon on a stick. Well, a moon anyway, Europa, Jupiter's second biggest satellite and apparently home to a massive pyramid. And that's just the start of the mysteries waiting to be uncovered in this enormous, literal game-changing expansion. Now, our next update might not be a whole moon, but how does an entire country sound? Microsoft Flight Simulator's frankly miraculous version of Planet Earth got its second major update with a new version of the USA to fly around. From the Statue of Liberty to Monument Valley and Hawaii's Mauna Kea observatories, there are a ton of new landmarks and cities to explore all across the states. And we got a tease of the next location getting the World Update treatment, our very own United Kingdom.
Okay, it's time to shrink things back down, like down to the size of a tadpole with Grounded's Koi Pond update. With new creatures and craftables, this is a super exciting step on the game preview journey, just as long as you don't have any reoccurring nightmares about swimming spiders or gigantic fish that are ready to gobble you up with their big carpy lips. Well, I didn't before playing this. Meanwhile, The Sims 4 wrapped up warm for a trip to the slopes with the Snowy Escape expansion pack. Minecraft headed off to a biome far, far away with its Star Wars DLC pack, and Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition made Battle Royale history with its anniversary update. Basically, whatever kind of game you're into, and whether you're playing on Xbox One, Series X or S, cloud gaming, or Windows 10 PC, then chances are November brought something new and cool for you to check out, which is a great way of saving money to jump onto the brand new stuff.
And speaking of saving money, how could we let you go without mentioning Games with Gold? You know the drill by now, 4 games every month, free to download and keep for all Xbox Live Gold members. Heading up November's lineup and available for free all month long was Aragami Shadow Edition. This is a stealth game where sticking to the shadows isn't just smart, it's necessary, because your spirit assassin character will literally dissolve in sunlight. Available from the 1st to the 15th though, we had an OG Xbox classic in the form of tactical shooter Full Spectrum Warrior, which handed the baton over to a certain fedora-wearing minifig on the 16th, as LEGO Indiana Jones brought some cracking fun to Games with Gold.
And if you missed out on all of those, then good news. The final game this month is actually still available until the 15th of December. Swim Sanity is a subaquatic side-scrolling shoot-'em-up that's perfect for a bit of co-op fun with your pals. Although, again, warning for anyone with big fish-related phobias, there really must be something in the water this month. So yeah, Swim Sanity is taking us into the new month, and we already know the other games of gold that you can expect to grab in December. You can check out our video right here to find out what's on offer and when you need to set your alarm to grab them.
And to make sure you never miss another freebie again, or any of the other latest games, updates, and all the other exciting developments in the world of Xbox, subscribe to our channel. And while you're there, you can ring that notification bell to get updated on every new video as it lands. We'll see you then, but in the meantime, hit the like button, let us know your personal November highlights down in the comments, and check out the Xbox on Twitch channel for daily streams of all the latest and greatest games. Thanks for watching, bye!